Hello everyone. So previously we have written a piece of code which the multiplication table, I mean you may remember. So this is what we have, right? So we have a multiplication table for number 2 and when you run it, this is what we get. It prints a title and it prints the table for 2 up to 10. I mean up to 10. We can get up to from 1 cross 2 to 2 to 10 times 2 is 20. So now, so suppose if I have, so we have written for that, we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So we have written 10 lines of repetitive similar, but it is changing. For example, the number 1 through 10 is changing here, and on the to the end, to the last, we have here 1 2 3 4. Again it is changing. So but it is quite repetitive. If the thing that we want to discuss today is there a way I can somehow reduce this number of lines, or is there any way in Python we can make it easier on us? Especially suppose I don't somebody says I want to do this for like maybe 20 or 100, up to 100, the size of the table maybe up to 100, like say 100 into 2 is 200. That has to be my last line. So is there a way somehow Python can help us with this repetitive piece of thing? So for that, so the point that we are looking at is, say I can say simply, suppose we want to say print 10, just print the 10 numbers. I can keep doing this, right? But so far we know I can print 1, print 2, print 3, right? Keep on doing. If I want up to 10, I'll stop at print 10, right? So I can, suppose if I want 100, I can write 100 lines like that. So it's we have learned so much, because we learned about print statement, we know how to use an integer, and we are able to communicate with computer. We learned to run Python code. So it's very impressive things to do. But taking another step, and if we can make this a bit easier on us, so let us see. So this is what we are trying to do, right? So we say I want to do something, right? I want to do what do I have to do? I have to do a number, right? I need to print a number. Say number equal to 1, right? I want to do, say print, do what I want to do, print number, right? And I need to print this number, and say I say increase number in steps, right? Say step 1 means I increase number to 2, and then I check, say if I can do something like do this operation, right, while say number, maybe we can say, we already know the conditions, right, while less than or equal to say 10. So what are we doing? We say number 1, do this print number, means so in the beginning it prints number is 1, and increase number in steps of 1 means number becomes number plus step, right? Which is number is incremented by 1, so your number is 2. Then check number is less than 10. Yes, it is less than 10. Then go back and print the same thing. So the thing I want to underline is here, this keyword, this while. So can we do something like that? In other words, more pictorially, what we are coming at is, say we start, right? We can write as a in a more like a pictorial tool, we start, what we do, we incremented, say I, right? Suppose I is number, starting number, I say 1, and I say what? I say next step, I'll say print, right? Print I, and then I'll say ask a question. I'll say I equal to I plus 1, right? This is strange way of writing, right? Remember the idea. I is what? I is what? 1, right? Now I am saying I equal to I plus 1. So it's, if you are mathematically inclined, you'll say, oh, I gone 0 equal to 1. Oh my god, what is that? So that is not the point here. It's a language more than mathematics, right? So what I'm just saying only, this I plus 1. What is I plus 1? I plus 1 is 2. So 2. So basically I'm saying the new value of I is 2. So new value of I is old value of I plus 1. So now the 1 is gone, I becomes 2. So now I'm asking the question, all right? I ask the question. This is actually a loop. If condition, if I less than 10, right? Let's see if that works. If we go here, and then I have an yes, I have no. If no, if it is no, what do we have to do? We have to go back and do this again, the whole thing, right? So what I do, I have started. Let us run through this. So first we have I is what? I is, first of all, I in the first case is 1 here, print 1, right? Here this will become 2. If 2 is less than 10, true, so it will print 2. Again, I becomes what? 3. So 3 is less than 10. Oh, so sorry, I messed up. Okay, this is no, this is yes. So if it is less than 10, so we have to go back and do it. So again, I is less than 10, yes. So in the first case, of course, is printed 1. Then in the second, I'm again restarting. Okay, in the beginning I was 1, so we printed 1, and then I equal to I plus 1, so which is 2, and then we ask the question I is less than 10, which is true, yes. So we go back, so we printed this 2 here because I become 2, right? And then this statement becomes here, I becomes I plus 1, so I becomes 3. Again, it is less than 10, so it prints 3, then it becomes 4. So let us go like that, and at some point I becomes what? Say 10. So when it reaches 10, 10 is less than 10, no. So here we says no, right? So what happens here? We just say stop. So there's a trouble. So we have to do one more thing, right? Because even if I is 10, we need to print it. So we have to say I less than or equal to 10. So suppose if I become 10, I'm asking the question I is less than or equal to 10. So suppose this is I is 10 here. Yeah, it goes back and this prints 10. Next step, I becomes 11. Is I less than or equal to 10? No, so it stops. So we get so we are able to print I equal to 1 to 10. So this, if you can see that here, this segment here is being repeated certain number of times. So this is what you want to accomplish. So this is something, a loop, right? You're looping or doing something over and over again. This, it can go on and on. If I say make it be a very, very big number, you keep on printing. But since I put it a finite 10, which is what I want, it will stop after that iteration. So we are combining two things in some way. We have an if thing condition. So based upon that condition, I'm saying the program execution flow is changing. From this point, it is going jumping back to some previous steps in the code. So that's what we want to do. So the question is how we want to do how we can do that in Python, right? So let us see. We have IPython. So let's say the same question, right? So the way we do it in Python is by using, we have something called a while loop. While, okay? So it's very simple. So let us start with our number. So I, right? I equal to 1, right? I equal to 1. And then what we want. So I have to say while, right? I less than or equal to 10. So here I'm saying the number I asking the beginning itself, I'm asking the question if this is 10. Remember the colon, which means I'm grouping, I'm going to group certain number of statements after that, as we discussed previously. So there's a tab after that. So while is coming at the margin and this is coming, this is same as what we'll learn before, like an if condition. So we have a colon and I'm asking this question. So this is a Boolean, as we remember. Is it a yes or no? It's a true or false. So yes, it is less than 10. So we have to say what we want. What is my operation? I say print I, right? Print I. And then I have to say not only that, we remember the increment. So I equal to I plus 1. So this is incrementing I, right? So there's a shorthand notation if you like. I can also say I plus equal to 1, which is expanded to something like I equal to I plus 1. So what's happening? I already said I equal to 1, which you can anywhere in the programming code, you know, the value of I is 1 so that it knows. So this is the new thing that we are learning, this block, the while loop. So the simple one's condition, the conditions we already learned previously, this is a Boolean. We are not writing if explicitly, we are just asking while I less than or equal to 10. Yes, it is true, print I, then keep on increasing I. Again, next time, the first case I was 1, so after print is executed, this increment is done, I become 2. The next question is while 2 less than 10. Yes, it is true, then again it executes. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 10, right? We know that we can use the tricks like AND statement if you want to print it. So we get in the same line. So this is the while loop. So it's quite straightforward. We can print one line, we can put one line underneath that or multiple lines of code, and you remember the tab, there is an indentation happening exactly like an if statement, and there's a colon and there's a condition, and the new keyword that we're learning is while. One more thing that we can use is we can write it in a different way too. So we can also say we can put something like a there's something called a break statement. If you want to break the loop, I can break it. This keyword called break. So what we do, suppose I want to say, right, say let us say printing, we say, right, suppose we want to print squares of numbers. The input that now somebody's inputting a number, we want to square it. So how do I say, right? So I can say y, right? So we need some condition here, right? This has to be a condition. That condition is true. So I can just also write, just simply write true, which means it will keep on running forever, right? Because this condition, this is true, is always true. I am not checking anything against any variables or anything. So this is like an infinite, it's an infinite or infinite loop. So I can, so always I need some kind of a break, right? For that, I say n equal to, suppose, or a number, right, equal to input, give a number, right? I am asking give a number, right? Now I can say I need to somehow break this, right? So I say if number equal to, if you enter q, I can say break. You can actually put this break in the next line, remember, under the colon with a one tab, something like this, right? But since only one line, it is okay to put it here. Now that one is done. Now, which means if somebody puts q, the break, it will break. Otherwise, what I want, I need to print square of what number, right, equal to, what do we say, int, right, number star 2, or right, that's it, right? So let's see, give a number, it's asking a number, so I can 23, I can put 3, I can put, so what is happening, this block, whole block is being executed until, since this is true, why this is true, so there is no, we are not checking against any condition, so this will keep on executing until this line is not true, because I am accepting, I am only putting a number here. If I want to break it, I have to put a q. So then this statement, number q equal to q. So let us see if it's working. So see, we are out. So it's very simple. So we have, right, we can put 88, we can put 111, and you can put even a float, right? But the floating, since I'm saying int number, if I want that, it will probably, because it's an int, we are converting into, so we need to be precise. You can say, let's say, so we can do that, right? You know. So and q will exit it. You can say q or exit or whatever string that you want to put. So this is all about loops. We mainly learned, that's very simple idea. So while it's a loop, we're executing a statement or a group of statements some number of times. Things that we are noticing here is that we need to indent as same as an if block, because this whole piece of code comes under this while. So we are putting a tab or a certain number of space from the margin, and we have a condition here. This can be actually a condition, like we can write, say, I less than 10, I is then greater than 10, or any complex conditions that if you have. And also, or just put in boolean. In this case, while true means it is true forever, so it's an infinite loop and it will run for many times. So with this new idea that we have discussed, let us go back and visit the multiplication table exercise that we have written. So this is our version 1 of the multiplication table with all the string idea of string concatenation and the string formatting that we have learned. So it gives me an output something like that. So now so now let us rewrite this, see if you can do something with this, right? So let me copy this in our new version, right? Multiplication table, right? It will be version maybe version 2.py, right? So it's okay, that's not the way I wanted. But it works. Okay, second Rosie, yeah. So let us rewrite this. So what are the things we're seeing? We are seeing here the same pattern that we are seeing, right? This line is being repeated in some kind of a fashion. One is being incremented, 1 2 3 4 5 6, which we all already know how to do that with a while loop, and the same thing is repeating here. So if I say I is 1, I can increment I and make it 110. So it basically will we be able to do it just one line and somehow repeat it? That's the question, right? Can we reduce it? So let us see if we can do that. So we are going to use the first line. We don't need any of this. Let us say we may be able to do, we may not be. Let's try. So let us comment all the text, separate this from a rest, and so we need to write somehow a while, right? So while something, and this we need to put underneath that, right? This is what we want. So I need to decide, say, maximum. So I need a variable I, right? So let's start with 1. So I say while I less than or equal to 10, right? I need to print this guy. So what we want, I need this has to go become 1 2 3 etc, and 2 remains 2 because this is a multiplication table for 2, and this also has to change to I, so it's also incrementing. So let us see how it looks like. So, and now I have to increment I, right, as we discussed. So I have to increment. How do I do? I equal to I plus 1, or remember I plus equal to 1. This is the same as I equal to I plus 1. I am changing the new value of I is the old value of I plus 1, so it becomes 2. See, let's see if it works, right? Oh my god, it worked. So all these statements are commented out. We have only one line we got up to. So the wonderful thing about this is I can actually say 100, right? Ta-da! So we have all the table for up to 100, up to 100. So I mean the size of the table is say 100, right? So now if you want to make it more user friendly, you can use the tricks that we have learned before. How do you do it? I can say, for example, I can say number, right? I can say number equal to input, right? Int, we have to cast it to an integer int input, enter the number, right? So that gives me the number, and that number has to be this number, right? That is the number that we are, that means the multiplication for number, right? So that number, multiplication of table for 2, right? So this D and that is your number, right? So this number is the number that we are getting from here, right? And So let's see whole thing. So 11. So this is so we have asking number 2, so up to 200, right? At the moment we don't, maybe suppose now we can make that also as a user friendly. It's going up to 200. So, and we can say maybe size of the table, size, right? Size equal to how many you want, say int input size of the table, right? So that size is an integer is size, right? So we can try again. So now enter the number. I want the table for 2. Let's be 2 is tired of 2. 5, 10. Oh yeah, it's getting my table for up to 10, right? So now so let's go. If you want to be a little more fancier, what we can do, we can say that we can say, for example, we can put the whole thing in another loop, right? I can for example I can say, for example, keep on doing this whole thing while true, right? So this whole thing, so now you see loops. So we are getting a little bit fancier. Let's see if it works. So now I'm saying while true, right? While true, I'm putting the whole thing. This whole thing will keep on repeating keep on doing this. It will print again, it will ask. But now we want, so I have one while loop here, which is for different numbers, right? I want table for 2 sometimes, 10 times, maybe table for 2 next time, maybe for 100, or table for 5, maybe 20 times. So it will give me in a given execution of the first loop, it is deciding which one. So now I can say this is, see, look at this is where the indentation comes. Okay, this is an indented block. So now I need some kind of an exit from the first loop. So I say here if, right, if input enter q to quit, right? See, this if is coming under this while. So all this outside loop, this is coming here. So this is corresponding to this guy. So this loop, all the things in here is underneath this. This is executing and giving the table. And this is our outside logic. So input enter q to quit, which means whenever q is there, right? If input enter q, we say equal to q, right? Break, which means you will enter some now q, enter something input. It will compare it with some 2 things happening. It will take a value, compare it to the q. If it is true, then it will break out of where the outside. See, I did a lot of blabbering. Let's see if it works. So let's see. So I say I want some table for 8. I want it for say 15 to 15. It works, right? So the first part is working. Let's see the second part. So let's do enter q to quit. I'm not quitting, so I just put an enter sign. So again, it's just giving me a second option. I see table for 88. I need only 5. So it gave me that thing too. So now I want to quit. I don't want to keep on going. So let's see if it works. It quit. So it works perfectly. So see, if with a little bit of piece of code, this is our second version, right? So I can, for the next time, this is just so that I can have a peace of mind. Okay. So this is our version 2. It's a little bit fancy. So we have a while loop, 2 while loops. So we made quite a good jump today. We not only learned the loop, we made a loop inside a loop with all those things we previously learned. So we also learned a new keyword break, which is associated with while loop, and we have learned this notations. So few new things. So I plus equal to 1, which, but you can always come if you want to be explicit. This is good. And so there's a break, there's a while, and there is an infinite loop here. So this comprises almost everything that we learned today. So that's for this discussion. I believe it was easy to follow, and thank you very much for watching.